you talk about motivation, and you mentioned this a little bit earlier when we were talking yesterday, but you talked about how, you got to spar with a guy like Money Mayweather. Like, how much motivation was it after you sparred with him, and what was that session like for you?
Amazing. I boxed Floyd probably about 200 rounds, maybe 300 rounds together. That very first sparring session, I went, I didn't have a coach there, just myself at the time. And, I hear once again, a kid who was still working on his confidence.
Yeah.
I was very young at the time, 3 professional fights. I have no coach here. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'm 3 weeks of not even supposed to be here. And then all of a sudden, Floyd's in a bad mood one day, 3 hours late, and someone comes in and screams, "Canada, you're up." They don't even know my name. You get in the ring. And I get in the ring and look across, and I got no coach. I'm about that, and it's the greatest fighter in the world. Yeah. And not only that, his second person is also one of the greatest fighters, one of the greatest leaders in the world, right? And coaches. And do I belong here? What the hell is going on? And I remember still, even then, I look back and Mariah Carey was there that day watching.
What?
And then there goes another thing. Like, all of a sudden I'm looking at these guys. I look back, I see her, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not in the corn. There's no cornfields around here. And next thing you know, after about 10 minutes, I shot my load. I was so exhausted just from the adrenaline dump, from, Floyd giving me opportunities of, thinking that he's hurt or that I'm getting off at him and shoot my load. And that was the first time I had my very first out-of-body experience. And after it was about 10 to 15 minutes in the sparring session, I was so exhausted and taking so many punches. It felt like that all of a sudden my body went numb and I just came above everybody, the ring. And it felt like it was 5 minutes of me talking to myself, but it was only about maybe 5 seconds. And I was like, is this really what I want to do? This is the greatest fighter in the world in front of you. And you have an opportunity right now to keep going. And you will become a world champion, because that's all it is, just not quitting. Or you can quit right now and live your life in regret and know what you did. And I blinked, and about 30 something minutes later, Floyd just stopped throwing punches and looked at me and shook my hand, pounded my hand, and dropped and rolled out of the ring after a 38-minute sparring session.
Wow.
And then after then, he let me stay in camp and be one of the chief sparring partners. And right there, that moment taught me a lot about how anything is possible, no matter where you think your edge is on what you can do. All that stuff on the other side of that is just scary because you've never been there before. And that was one of those moments where I got to walk through the fire and come out the other side. And it was a very beautiful experience for me in my life. And then I remember, because Floyd, he knew that I have great endurance, right? So we would box a lot. And I remember this one week went by where Floyd didn't box at all. I'm pretty sure there was a cut in his lip after the one day. So he didn't box for a week. And I was getting ready for a fight at the same time. So my coach is like, Cody, like, we haven't sparred all week. I know this is great, but you need to get ready for your own fight. So it's Saturday. He's like, we're going to do a 3-hour hard workout. We need to make up for the whole week that we missed. So he killed me in the gym for about 3 hours. And I know there's videos up there and people know and talk, right, in the gym. And Floyd's always trying to get guys. And so I left the gym after Ibn just killed me, about 3-hour workout. And I go pick up my wife at the time. We go grab a smoothie and we just sit down in the mall. My phone goes off. Be at the gym in 20 minutes. I'm like, no. I couldn't even finish my smoothie because I'm going to throw it up if I finish it.
Right. Exactly.
Right? I just trained for 3 hours. But there's no way that I could turn down this, right? This is why I'm being paid, right? I need to walk into this fire. And to be put in positions like that, where you have the greatest fighter in the world and you're going in there with not even a low battery, but a battery that's right on E, right? That if you keep driving, you feel it shaking, the car, the wheels are about to fall off. Now, how do you survive for 36 minutes, right? What do you do? It started teaching me a whole different skill set of taking people's tools away, reading them, seeing when they're spending energy, when they're trying to get me to spend energy, when they're just resting. It taught me so much just through that experience of time and time again, getting put into a position where I didn't think I'd be able to come out of. And I came out with flying colors. Like even one time in Russia, after this, a lot of guys started hiring me, right? So Edward Troyanovsky was a world champion in Russia.
Yeah.
We were 36 hours of flying. We flew from like Vegas to New York, from New York over somewhere overseas, had a layover, another flight, get off the plane, 4-hour car ride to the Olympic Training Center, and then literally just get out the car and they're like celebrating, you're here. Yes, we're sparring in 20 minutes.
Wow. I'm
like, what? I haven't slept in a day and a half, but this is why you're getting paid, right? And so, of course, only one sparring partner brought in because they knew that Cody Crowley could do all the rounds. So a day and a half, no sleep of all that travel. And I jump in the ring and go 12 rounds with Edward Troyanovsky 4 days straight in a row because I'm the only sparring partner they bring in. Just bang, 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 finish out the week. So all these different situations, I feel like they gave me experience on how to handle myself when I'm in the worst possible environments and conditions, and how to be calm and remain the eye of the storm. Another one, even like Ugas, I remember finishing a 2-hour leg day with my coach to the point where our legs are just shaking. I look like I'm twerking, right? My legs are just and all of a sudden, Eben gets a phone call. Cody, Ugas has a big fight coming up and he needs 6 rounds today. Can you give it to him? Well, I can't walk, coach. Well, that's okay. You stand there and you know how to, he's talking to me, telling me it's okay, because that fear would always come in, right? Well, no, I need to be perfect. And my coach is always helping me, putting me in that position of, well, this is actually when you want to train, when you have nothing left. And when you go in there and don't think that you can make it out. Yep. Those are creating new pathways. Those are creating new moments of time and space that you've never been in before. And that's where growth comes in. And I got so many of these stories of, just being on the treadmill 5-10 miles deep and then jumping off and going to boxing people. That all that stemmed from my experience with Floyd, right? And being around him and seeing that exact same thing, that it doesn't matter how you feel, where you are, or who's there or anything. Yeah. You need to master yourself and have the ability to turn that switch on and off. Doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if 5 minutes before you got picked up by the police and you got a charge, or your girl just tried to divorce you or whatever, right? You need to be able to flip that switch, not let anything affect you. And that's what Floyd does every single time you see him in the ring.
Nothing scares you at this point, huh? Anymore?
No, nothing scares me. Really nothing scares me. The biggest fear of my life was humility, was humility of being seen, just myself. I'm not scared of no man, that's for sure. And I'm not scared of no situation. Even my last couple of fights, I've been in crazy personal situations. And nothing. I was very suicidal for a long time. Then my dad went and hung himself. Then I was going through a divorce. All sorts of crazy stuff. So I don't really, I'm not scared of nothing.